Big up to every one of you. Good evening and welcome to United Real Therapy, people. Apologies about that. Laptop is having an absolute taking the mick. Tom, if you're there, jump on. Big up. Let me just get this. If you're about, Tom, jump on, pal. Jump on. Last be having ya. Jump on, Tom, if you're out and about. If you're about, big up, people. Carl then says, big up Morocco. Yeah, we got a big up Morocco, man. Brilliant win today against a lackluster and washed up Belgium team that have been together for 6 years. Big up, man. Big up to every one of you. Big up to Caden Structure FC. Here we go. What's up, people? What's up? Big up, man. Big up Millie. Yo, big up, people. How are we all doing, people? Welcome to United Real Therapy, people. We got big questions tonight. Big questions, concerns. I should really change the title of the show because there are concerns about the sale of Manchester United to this investment group from the US. Honestly, there is concerns, people. I've been trying to look at what's going on, and there is a concern, a big concern, a huge concern about the Glazer sale, and that they're going to be selling to an investment company, which is not good at all, people. Which is not good at all. I mean, all these different things. I'll just look at Phil Brown, Malachi on Twitter. He was one of the first people that. Let me get his tweet up. Let me just get his tweet up, people, so you know what I'm saying. Let me get his tweet up. Somebody has alerted me to this news, man. And this is no good, people. This is no good whatsoever. I don't know why they're doing it, but this is not good news, people. He was one of the first people to break the news. Phil Malachi. Phil De Bruyne Malachi. He was one of the first people to break the news in the summer about possible Glazer sale. And this is what he's tweeting out, people. So welcome. Let you go. Get in here. He says, I really worry about an investment company owning United. Investment companies have one goal, that's to make money. I also worry the Glazers favor that kind of sale because they'll remain clandestinely involved. The Premier League must show its regulatory teeth here. A potential new owners, goes on to say here, potential new owners must know they will face exactly the same protest and opposition as the Glazers did. He continues here. The obvious preference would be Radcliffe. He understands the club, sporting culture, and his relevance. I feel like this is a very important time for the United fans to organise. We won't get a second chance at this. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about what Malachi is saying here? What do you guys think? Also, just to show you, this another guy here is very close to the club, so he'll know what's going on at the club. Here is James Docker. Obviously, this is behind the paywall. It's behind the paywall, that article, but he's also saying he's concerned about Man United being. So anyway, but Man United being taken over by an investment company, and we don't want investment companies, people. It's bad news. It's really bad news. So what do you guys think? Big up, Tom. Yes, Tom. How you doing, bro?
Yep, evening.
Yeah, big up. Big up, people. Big up. Yeah. What do you think? Did you hear me that bit there?
I didn't know. What were you on about?
So basically, Phil Brown tweeted what 4 hours ago. You know, Malachi. He is
Mm-hmm.
he's one of the very interesting guy actually. A very interesting guy, and he tweeted that um, he basically tweeted that he reckons that the front runners to take over Man United are an investment company, but not in those words. He didn't say those words, but he basically means like there might be an investment company that might be taking over Man United. Uh, yeah, so I'll quickly just update this now. Phil Malachi, you know Phil De Bruyne. He was the one that actually broke the news saying that United were on the yeah. Here it is. Look, he says I really worry about investment company owning Man United. Investment company's goal is to make money, so I worry the Glazers. Uh, I worry the Glazers favour that kind of sale because they will remain clandestinely involved. The Premier League regulatory must act. You know what I mean? Must show teeth. You know what I mean? Show Premier League must show regulatory teeth here. And then James Docker, who's close to the club, says he actually got really a lot of things right in the summer
Yep.
about Man United transfers and stuff like that. Obviously, I absolutely cannot stand Tory Graph. That newspaper is a vile newspaper, and it's obviously behind the paywall, so I'm not going to click on that and give them a click anyway. But he says Manchester United face a threat of another Glazer unless the government applies rigorous Chelsea-style audit any potential takeover at Old Trafford, given the failure to introduce the footballing regulator. One, yeah. So that's them from Manchester United Supporters Trust.
Okay.
So what you thinking, Tom? What are you thinking? I'm Phil Malachi. Sorry, Malachi. Phil De Bruyne. He says at least he knows. He says at least give a to give some he gives Radcliffe saying that Radcliffe understands sporting culture and everything else. Big up Khalees. Khalees, please hold a World Cup related quote. We're going to be talking a bit about this first to begin with, the Glazer takeover. And I'm going to be asking you all in the comments as well. What do you guys think? What's the first job for a Manchester United potential new owner? What should it be from day one? What should that person be doing from day one? But Tom, give me your views first and answer the question.
On the potential investment.
Yeah. So basically, it's the investment company, and you know that means that's like we got rid of the Glazers to only have another Glazers, and I think that sale is possible because other investment companies are going to look at how much profit the Glazers are going to be making from an initial £500 million, £500 or £600 million from a loan from a bank, and then now they're going to be walking away for 4 or 5 billion if they do sell. By the way, I'm still not sure that they're going to sell. They're fully going to sell, but if they do sell, that's what's going to happen. So it's no good for me, people. It's not good. It's not good. So first of all, and then the second question would be, what do you want to do in the first weeks and month for the new owner? What should they tackle head on first?
Well, I mean, if it's a potential investment company, I'd probably say that most likely that points to the US market, doesn't it? Really, or the US investment groups that are going to be there, the banks, the supply chains, the money washers in many cases of the American market and the American mainstream. That is, the pinnacle of America's finance, isn't it? Really, the investments, but. If you take it for example with the Glazer family, we know what the Glazer family were about from day one to the Watson Football Club. It didn't take a fool or an idiot to work it out. They weren't here for the sporting reasons or politics. They were here for one thing, weren't they? And that was to make as much capital out of the football club as they could. They've done it. They took it to a certain point where, as far as I knew anyway, it was out there in the public domain for people to see the financial records. I would have predicted Man United would have had about a 12-month period, or the Glazer family would have, where they would have had to either get investors in the football club, sell a partial share of the football club, or sell the football club altogether and get a full sale and get a full price tag for the football club. And within that 12-month period, like, we're near the end of the year now, and they're, looking at, well, they say selective alternatives of ownership or whatever the words that they've used. Anyway, it was complete bollocks, wasn't it? At the end of the day, but these investment, companies and stuff, I don't necessarily agree with what they do, because, like you say, you always get, these investment companies. It's in the title, investment. If you put investment into something, you want something in return. They ain't doing it out of the goodness of the heart. But I say the exact same thing for a Sir Jim Ratcliffe takeover. Sir Jim Ratcliffe will be an investor in the football club, but he ain't going to be this Lord and Saviour that people are going to think, oh, he's going to come in, he's going to roll in with Ineos or potentially, leading a consortium of other billionaires, and suddenly it's all going to be, rosy and brilliant. It's not, because at the end of the day, Manchester United, we, as fans, we deserve to put structures in place at our own football club. We deserve to have our own rules and regulations of an ownership, or the people who dictate us, or the people that fund us. We deserve to have a right in, and in many cases, a say in that. But we're not going to have that. But like you said about the second question, Ruud, about if a new owner comes in, what's the first thing that they need to do? Well, the first thing that they need to do really is you need to scrap this structure that's in place already. You need to sack a lot of them. The football director, John Murtough, Darren Fletcher, they all need rolling out of Carrington. And you need fresh blood from the European markets who are the elite of the elite. You need the best sporting director out there. You need, the best healthcare department out there. You need the best in every department. And you need the funding to do it. The owner has to come in and do all this funding. You need to get everything modernised and up to date. You need to set aside the finances to redevelop the stadium, or if you're going to further the plans, potentially build a new stadium. You need to, put in place a projection plan for the women's and the youth teams as well, if that is their own stadium, which is what a lot of people out there would want, myself included. I would be up for that. But this is going to cost, I would say, double billions. You're talking 10 billion plus to first buy the football club and then do all these extras. The investment companies, for me, they will invest in the club. They might say that they're going to, improve the stadium. I want pen and paper, law-abiding contract before I believe anything that an investment company is going to say to us, because they'll buy the football club and they go back on their word. They're not people of law and jurisdiction. They get sued all the time by companies or businessmen, where they fiddle around with their money or they invest in a company and then they go back on their word. They don't give the full acceptance to the people that they're investing in. That's the reason why I don't believe in the investment companies taking over Manchester United. It's not because they have a bias against investment. Investment's brilliant for some people. But for Manchester United as a football club or as a brand, it's not good at all. But like we said with Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who's the mainstream suitor in many people's eyes, I'm sure there's going to be many more names over the coming weeks, months. I mean, God forbid, years that this might take, that we'll hear about. We'll hear about billionaires we never even heard of, ever. And we'll have to do our research on them and find out what their plans are, or if they've got any sporting background of it. But if like you say, if we're going down the sporting background, I think, if we're being perfectly honest, I think all reasons probably lead to Sir Jim Ratcliffe, or potentially even a Middle Eastern ownership. If that is a state, then it's a state, isn't it? Because we've seen the success that Manchester City and Newcastle have not even been taken over, I think, barely 12 months. And you've seen the boost and the upgrade that they've done there. But with all these new ownerships now in the modern day, and the Premier League is regulating it now, they don't have an independent regulator in place, or the government haven't put one in place anyway, to deal with ownership changes or the financials of football. You need that. If you're not going to have that person in place, you need to at least have a larger, jurisdiction in football clubs where you put in place certain plans. Like, for example, I think the way that the Rain Group sold Chelsea to Todd Bowley, with the clauses that they put in place for that deal, I thought it was brilliant, in terms of the fact of he can't take any money out of the football club for 10 years. He can't take any dividends out. He's got to invest in the stadium and the technology within the first 2 years of his ownership. Otherwise, he breaches the contracts and the terms that he bought the football club over, and then it would be re-put up on the market to be bought again. Putting these little clauses in place is what football's needed for a long, long time. But ultimately, if we're going down this road and everything, probably all roads lead to Ratcliffe, Dubai, or whatever state would potentially be interested. But like we say, it's going to be interesting to see where it is. But I don't believe in investment companies because at the end of the day, they'll invest, they'll say one thing, and they'll do the complete opposite of what they've said. So at the end of the day, you can invest all your money into buying the football club. That's fine. I want proper people who are going to appoint the top dollar people out there in Europe, the best of the best in every department for the best and the biggest football club in the world, which is Manchester United. We shouldn't accept anything less than the best. But that's just my thoughts on it anyway.
Yeah, big up. What do you think? What do you think? What do you
Jim will fix it, man. Jim will fix it.
Listen, Bombay, I'll come to you in a minute. Big up everybody who's watching, by the way. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Please smash that notification button. Lets you know when we're next live. I'll stay with you. What's the first thing that a potential buyer, because all hypothetical here, right, at the moment. What do you think is the most important thing in the first couple of months, Tom? And then I'll same question to you, Bombay.
What's the most important thing in the first months is probably going to be... I want to see people like actually in the stadium. I want to see the owners like connect with fans. I want some sort of liaison put in place. I want a fan who is voted, probably not in a political sense, but in a polling sense, to be on the board that is trusted by the Manchester United fans to get the point across. We need to have somebody who's a voice for the supporters inside the boardroom and inside the football club. You need to have a liaison panel between the ownership and the fans ultimately, because there's always this conception of, a manager has to have a brilliant relationship with his the directors at a club and the owners, and that chain, if it works, you get brilliant success. Yeah, of course you do, but ultimately with all those other things, you've got to have the fans included as well, because if the fans aren't backing you, then you can win all the games you want. You ain't going to have anybody turn up to support you. You ain't going to have anybody backing you at the end of the day. So these ownerships, if they want to get people on side, it's not about, waving your wallet around and saying, look, I've got the big bucks, we're going to buy the football club. If you're going to come in here and steamroll and buy the football club for between probably 4 and 8 billion, God forbid, then, yeah, you can flash your wallet about and say, oh, yeah, I've spent X, Y, Z amount of money on the football club. But I don't want to be hearing things about, it's a business as much as a football club, or, the market, the markets aren't brilliant, or, we need to, save on this and, we'll redevelop in a couple of years or things like that. No, as soon as you come in, you need to have a plan. That's all I'm saying. You need to have a plan. You need to have a plan of what you're going to do structure side in terms of the people you're going to hire and fire. You need to have development plans in place for, I would say you need a digger at Old Trafford, or you need some renovators there within 12 months. I think I'd give you 12 months to get those plans in place. And then obviously if you're wanting to build women's stadium, youth team stadium, this is going to take up maybe a couple of months, potentially over a year to do. Then do it. Put the plans in place. If I can see people are actually going to like councils, or like going to the council, or going to businessmen in the local area or something about reconstructing or building something from scratch, like a stadium, or I don't know, a fan hub or something, doing something is better than doing nothing at the end of the day. And that's just how I see it anyway with the Glazer family. They've been here for 17 years and they've done fuck all for the football club. Not put a penny of their own money into the club at all, but taking it out and rinsed it for what it's worth. But this is what I want new owners to do. I want them to come in and I want them to do things, but do things for the fans, not for themselves at the end of the day.
Big up, Tom. Bombay, I'll come to you. What do you think the first thing that people should owners should be thinking about in the first couple of months when they come in. Because the stadium is on its knees. I'm not going to lie to you guys. If you go to the stadium regularly, it's on its knees in every aspect of it. The toilets, from just the way it is, every way, it's on its knees. So what do you think? What do you think should be the first couple of months? What they should be? Does anybody know? Police, if you do me a favor, please just have a look. If any conversations after they had the Glazers hired builders or a firm, I think architects.
Yeah, the Tottenham architectures, didn't they?
Is that what it was? To do an
Yeah,
audit?
the people who built who developed the Tottenham Stadium.
So my laptop is acting funny. That's why I was late going live. Can you have a look for me? If there's any reporting on that? Have they come back and said what needs to be done? But big up Mumbai. So what are you doing in the first couple of months? You take over Man United. What are you doing?
Well, before anybody puts a penny down, I'd tell them to buy Liverpool. It's a better option.
Why would you say that?
It's really, we're done out here now. Man, I don't know who's going to buy this club. I don't know if it's going to get sold.
No, listen. They're all saying,
but on the basis that it does, yeah.
Investment company.
Okay, on the basis, the thing is with this, it's sit and hope that the owners that you're getting identify why Manchester United's big investment on players and on big managers and stuff is not giving any returns, and why teams that are spending a lot less are playing better football, doing better by their own standards. So identify those problems, address them, and just, come in with the intention to get this club competing again with the Tottenhams in terms of the facilities, with the Man Cities, the Liverpools, the Chelseas of this world, Champions League regular. If that's the aim of any investor or any person that buys this club that comes in, then we should be in good stead. But if, you're going to get somebody that can afford it, that just wants to own it because it's Man United, and then, football is a business. Unfortunately, I hear what Tom's saying, but it is a business. The people that put money in are looking to make some sort of money out. How quickly and how much, I don't know. But that's what I'd say. I'd say, look, this is what we've been through in 17 years. These are the investments. The return is paltry. You need to identify the problems. We're talking about things like structure, maybe football director, proper one. The facilities here used to be the best. Now they're not very good. You need to address that and get us back to where we belong. And that's why you'll be paying a premium for you're going to pay a premium for a club and a team that's won nothing in a decade. Nothing worthy of note, really. I think we've got an FA Cup and a Europa League and a League Cup. Second place finish with 83 points with Jose, and not much more than that. So you'll still get to charge a massive amount of money for this club because of what it is. And, hopefully do the right things. Be here for the long term. Do the right things. Put some money in, get it back. And that's what we can hope for, really. That's what I'd say I'm looking for you to do. If I was giving a prospectus to a potential buyer, I'd say these are the things that we'd really like you to be looking at. If that's not your idea, then please don't buy this club. But it's Malcolm Glazer and Joel Glazer here that are sat at the round table, and they're going to say, what can you give us? We don't really care where you're going to take this club. It's nothing to do with us. What can you give us? So unfortunately, that handover, we're completely powerless in it. We accept it, whoever it is, nothing we can do. And then either the protests and the knives come out, or you think, you know what, this is a better ownership. Much more than that, man. I haven't got a crystal ball.
Right, big up Khalees, Robert E. Lassie in the chat. So apparently he sent a note. So basically, this is what he said. This could happen. This is what Khalees has sent. Big up Khalees is in the chat. It says, so basically, the Glazers have appointed 2 master planners legends of international and populace with a view to finally redeveloping the club's home. The spokesman said Manchester United has appointed a team of leading consultants to work on creating a master plan for redevelopment at Old Trafford. Work will begin immediately on a development options for Old Trafford and the study their feasibility with the aim of significantly enhancing fan experience. This appears to have been abandoned. So that was the latest.
So maybe they do want to sell.
There is an article on there. There's a Guardian article on here, but I think that might be the quotes might have come from there. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how long ago this article was written. I'm just trying to have a look.
I think it was a couple of months ago.
No, actually, it was the 23rd of this month. It was last Wednesday. It was Wednesday.
Last Wednesday.
Yeah, last Wednesday. Old Trafford, gleaming jewel of the crown of Manchester United, a destination venue with a wow factor. The team's heritage, culture, modernity, warmth, light, and vision. The ground refurbed, overhaul, or even downsized for the club's wanted youth team finally had a permanent home, while the fresh 101,000 capacity stadium, Pram's named new Old Trafford, is built to the successor of Bill Medley's George Best, Roy Keane, Wayne Rooney, all to grace.
Man, don't torture yourselves, boys. Don't torture yourselves.
I don't know what's wrong. The Glazers are offering a notice they might sell. An architect is hardly required to see how new owner can transform. So with the Glazers offering notice to they might sell, an architect is hardly required to see how this new owner could transform the crippling, patched up Old Trafford that has zero fresh structural redevelopment since Malcolm Glazer bought it in 2005.
I mean, maybe. Do you know what though? Maybe.
Listen, it's an illustration of what can be achieved is found at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which took 3 years to build and cost $1 billion, in a shiny testament to a vision and ambition. For 62 fans who could attend there, it's a Michelin star restaurant, numerous bars for home and away fans, grade 2 listed building, an art gallery, Europe's largest club shop. Generally, the sense that that all was constructed with care and attention. The finance required for this Alonga site would surely start at $2 billion, but United, even more than Tottenham, have a proud history that could be drawn upon to create forward-thinking momentum in England's record title winners that would, in time, show the proper I can't even say the word, the proprietor a nice profit. The club has recently valued. The club is recently valued about 3.75 billion. But Ed Woodward, the former executive, believes the vast are the revenue streams yet to be tapped up could easily be raised up to north of 10 billion. Okay, he's still about, isn't he? The dickhead. The dickhead's still about. And by the way, it's also very interesting that he might be involved in a potential takeover. When we thought we finally got rid of Woodward, he could be returning people. Oh my God, please, no. That's what I said. I've just tweeted. I said it could be the biggest FU if an investment company takes over Man United. But let me just carry on with this article. An example of the official tour of Old Trafford lacks imagination. The highlights are being trumped by access given to the actual changing rooms used by the teams during what feels like to be bolted and walkabout. Imagine instead Man United virtually. Imagine indeed a Manchester United virtual reality place where by goggles you can live the fantasy of every of any United player in a legacy triumph, says Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, 99 goal scorer, 99 scorer, the famous goal. This is what he's saying. Or a bespoke Manchester United museum that allows in-depth, immersive journey from the Newton Heath football club of 1878 to the current Manchester United. Or why not why not out Michelin Tottenham? Why he goes, why not out Michelin Tottenham and have 2-star rated restaurants that's open only on match days and sits alongside a multi-range price eateries that can be enjoyed after shopping, boutiques, walkout, Manchester United gym, watching the latest Hollywood blockbuster at Manchester United cinema, a youth production, Manchester United theatre. Bloody hell, guys! These guys have gone to work. They've gone to work. But anyway, big up, Malcolm. Malcolm, what's the first thing people should be doing? What's the first thing people should be doing? Actually, you know what? Bombay has to go. So let me just go back to Bombay, right? Yeah. Bombay, I'll say to you, bro. I'll ask you this question coming to the World Cup, actually. Could you see any of the African nations making out of groups? Can you see any of them making out the groups?
It's all still to play for. Just one result changes the whole tables. You've got the Ghana group. They, it wasn't a good start, but they're still in it. They only played one game. And Senegal are still in with a shout. It'll be difficult, but they could. Morocco, man, were fabulous today, I must say. Really brilliant. Yeah, 100%. Big up Morocco. Big up our Moroccan boys as well. They were credit to themselves. Brilliant.
I'd love to be in Tangier tonight. I love Manchester.
Oh, big time.
In Tangier tonight. I love to be in Casablanca tonight. I love to be in Assuera on the beachfront in Assuera. I love to be in Marrakesh. Nobody's sleeping in Morocco tonight, mate. Everybody's party.
Party time. Proper. They do it right over there. I think all the African teams at the minute, Cameroon, I fear
I think they're out. I think Senegal are out. Cameroon are out. I think Morocco have to play the games of their lives to get through to the second round.
They're in good stead. I think Tunisia are out. So Tunisia, Cameroon, I'd X them. But the rest is all...
I think Senegal are out.
Against Ecuador.
Yeah, man. They haven't got a goal scorer, bro. Really, they haven't.
It's true. But do you know what?
Unless they work a miracle. Unless, like, a red card. Because I can see Valencia scoring, man. He's one of the top
that team is, he's doing really well. I hope he's back. But that Ecuadorian team, the way they fight, the way they're so patriotic about their country, the way they're so religious, they're just really united. And I'm falling for them. They're my team. I really, really like watching them both games. Everything about them, I love an underdog. So I hope they do well. But I think Morocco, hopefully, will do it. Senegal, man, it is going to be difficult, but it's not impossible. Ghana have only played one game, so it's all to play for. But the rest, I'm not sure if I'm forgetting anybody. I think that will be it. But certainly, there are some African teams, I'd say 2, that have a realistic opportunity to go forward and hopefully qualify for the next round. I hope so.
Yeah, big up Bobaye. Lots of love, bro.
All right, gentlemen, have a good one.
Tomorrow, yeah. Catch up with you tomorrow, yeah.
Good night,
Malcolm,
guys.
I'll come to you. Big up Bobaye. I'll come to you, Malcolm. Are you worried about this investment company taking over Man United and then potentially selling it on and try to get much profit as they can, like the Glazers have? Glazers took a bank loan out to buy Man United in a debt leverage takeover, and now they could be making 5-6 billion for the money that they didn't spend a penny on. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So you can understand an investment company looking at Man United going, we could owe you for a couple of years, 10, maybe 5-6 years, then sell you on for a profit. You understand that?
Yeah, man, listen, like others said, If the Glazers are gonna really sell this club, it's not gonna be to like a sporting person. It's gonna probably be to like a banker that just wants to make a lot of money out of it, and that's just sad because you know we're like probably like one of the biggest clubs in the world in terms of like revenue, but not not even just for sports, but you know that's just I feel like a lot of background checks need to be taken into consideration before we actually sell them to anyone, because the club can be sold to anyone right now. Like it could be sold to like Qatar, the Saudis, Dubai, American investors, South American, Spanish, whatever whatever ethnicity, you know what I mean. But yeah, man, it's for from what it looks like right now. I don't think whoever comes in is not really gonna provide us with the resources that we need. So yeah, it's just the same old shit, same old plans, same old ambitions. You know what I mean? Just get someone to invest in the club, then sell it on, then build it up from there. But yeah,
Yeah,
nothing really
big up.
new at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, big up, man. Big up. Listen, we're scared, man. We're scared if the investment company takes over Man United. They're going to rinse the club again. We're back to square one. We're back to square one. It'll just be similar to the Glazers. And I just really hope that Glazer sell to the highest bidder. And the highest bidder are people with deep pockets. But anyway, let's get into the World Cup, people. Big up Morocco! Big up all the Moroccans, man. What a game.
Listen, the Moroccan fans are going crazy at full time, yo.
What a brilliant game. One of the best atmospheres. One of the
Yeah.
best atmospheres in the tournament so far, people.
Yeah, man.
Tom, did you get to watch that? Did you watch a bit of it? Did you see any of it?
I watched a bit of it, yeah.
Yeah, the second half I watched the second half. Second half was brilliant. Oh my God. But Morocco was so good, and I told everybody Belgium are washed up. Belgium. I said Belgium won't even get out of the group. That's what I predicted anyway. I predicted in the WhatsApp. So big up Rashid, by the way. Big up Rashid, man. Big up. Listen, I got Moroccan family, man. Morocco, we spent a lot of time in Morocco, man. Absolutely love that country. Love the people. I got like friends, really close friends in Tangier, Marrakesh, Aswera. I love that country, man. I love Morocco. I have some of the best times I have. I thought Siak would play fantastic today. I thought that was the best team player performance from Siak I have ever seen. He ran his heart out. And at the end, you see the fans, the way they were. It was like a proper game, man. And I was so happy. I was so happy for them. Obviously, this is going to be a bit of the World Cup run. I'm going to ask you both. Can you see any of the African teams making it out? And I'll start with you, Tom. Can you see any of the African teams making out the group to get to the knockouts?
Well, I think Cameroon are probably going to struggle, aren't they? I think so anyway. Senegal.
I think they look.
I think as a team they look okay. I think as a team they potentially could get through it, but it's the lack of goals, isn't it? That is probably going to worry me in that regard for them. In terms of, well, probably the rest of them. I mean, Morocco obviously putting the shift that they did today. Mm-hmm. I mean, brilliant game.
Atmosphere was amazing.
Atmosphere. Come on.
It was one of the best atmospheres of the tournament.
The atmosphere in that stadium would have gone halfway across the globe back to Morocco, and in that country, man. Like,
and you know what? The so many Moroccans who live in Europe, who live in North America.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Like I said, it's worldwide. Yeah,
live all around the world, man.
Yeah. Like,
in Belgium,
like we saw obviously
Paris, in France, in Lyon, in Marseille. Oh my God, they're celebrating. It's not just in Morocco tonight. It's London, Ladbroke Grove. Those who know, big up. Who's the brother said that? But yeah, the Moroccan diaspora is huge diaspora.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like you say, with these sort of games, we saw what the impact it had on, like, love it or hate, what it had on Saudi Arabia when they beat Argentina. I mean, did they have like a day of independence or something?
What's that?
Like a day of no work or no?
When Saudi Arabia beat apparently Argentina, the Saudi Arabian players all got a Rolls Royce, and then apparently they called a national day of.
I thought it was like independence or something.
For Saudi Arabia.
No, yeah, they just like no schools.
So what they did was
no work.
They made a bank holiday. I think it's like a bank holiday.
Yeah, like a bank holiday. Sorry, a bank holiday. Basically, a day off for everybody. You take the day off work, take the day off, school or whatever. And these little things that they do and stuff, like where little countries like the win against they're a big underdog against one of the biggest teams in the tournament or whatever. It's always nice to see. But the thing I like with this Moroccan team is they play with like the space. They play where the space is. And I like that with teams where it's not like you just overload into one area, for example. People might call me a little bit of, unoptimistic. The Germany-Spain game, for example, I was expecting a much better game than I actually saw, if I'm being honest. I thought there was a lot more quality players on that field that could have done something or impacted that game so much better with the
I was
quality.
Really disappointed. Thank you, Tom. I thought I was the only one.
Like, for example, I see it like
I felt bored.
Busquets is one of the most like
I call him Masala, but Masula.
It's like with that, for example, like you had young generational players like Gavi, Pedri, Musiala. You had, some veterans, if you like the game, like your Busquets, your Goretzkas, Kimmichs, who have won Champions Leagues. Potentially, I think some those World Cup winners on either sides of the teams. But when you play it in the factors with all, like we've just said with Morocco and stuff, I like these teams. It's not a case of like household names that in terms of the players or the teams, but it's the way that they play and it's the organisation that I like when I watch the World Cup. Or I watch something like AFCON or whatever, where you see a team, they're not just turning up and thinking, right, we're here for the laugh of it, we're here for the fun, let's get whacked 6-0. No, we'll come with a plan, we'll come with a game. We might not win, but let's put a performance out there. Let's do the country proud. Let's do, the fans in the stadium, proud first and foremost. But let's do the country home. Let's shock the world and prove what we can potentially do. But like you say, I think it comes down to like with such a Senegal, for example, it comes down to the Ecuador result. I mean, Ecuador are the goal scorer that they lack. So there's obviously that clash there. Cameroon, I'll be honest, I don't really have much hope for. And like we just said with Morocco, I'd probably say that they've probably got more of a chance. I think out of probably all the teams, if I'm being honest. But Tunisia are probably out as well. So, like you say, it dwindles down really, doesn't it? But I like it with these teams, with the organisation, the management. It's not about having the superstar players. It's about having players that are going to listen to your instructions and follow by example. And when you have a group of players that want to work together, a group of players is a lot better than one individual. We saw that with the Argentinian result. We saw it with the Morocco result. We've seen it so many times in this tournament. Japan, for example, don't have a superstar player, but absolutely rinsed Germany in the last 30, 40 minutes of that game. But like you said, the second half of the Morocco game, I mean, wow. The atmosphere, the enthusiasm. I only watched, I think, like the last, 30 minutes of it. But from what I've heard and stuff, like, wow. I thought it was really, really good. The tempo of the game and everything. So yeah, I think probably if we're going for the African nations, I'd probably say Morocco has got probably the best chance, to be honest with you. But they have got some quality players as well, which obviously that's always going to help to advance through the group.
100%. Malcolm, what are you thinking? What teams would get out? What do you think of the African teams? What do you think would get out of the group stages, going to the knockout? Who do you think has got the best chance?
I think from what I've seen so far, I'm taking Morocco. I think Morocco looks good. Senegal, they're okay, but I don't know who they play again. They play what? They play what? Who do they play? Ecuador.
Let me get this fixtures up here. It's the last games, isn't it? Let's see who they're playing first, innit? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the fixtures. Let's have a look. So tomorrow, Cameroon play their second game. They play Serbia. I think Cameroon are out, me personally.
Yeah, they're out.
Serbia better team. So it's the third game, the second game, South Korea versus Ghana.
Yeah.
So to me, Mohamed has to play up the pitch more.
Yeah.
He can't play in midfield.
I think they'll be South. I think they'll be South Korea.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
South Korea.
I mean, it's not gonna be a convincing win, but I think it'll be close. It'll be close. Ghana are gonna have to really dig into get a win. We're gonna have to really dig into get a win. Yeah.
This is the most untalented Ghanaian squad I've ever seen. There's usually so much full of talent, so much promise. Yeah.
Ghana, I think this is like the fourth time.
Senegal play Ecuador. Ecuador play Senegal. It's the last game of the.
Yeah, and Senegal. I mean, this thing with Senegal, like they have quality. Like I don't think a lot of people, realize it, but they have quality. I think it's just that end product that they're missing right there.
The end product. And the difference is that Ecuador have the end product with
that's the thing, man. The Ecuadorian striker, man.
Valencia,
Valencia, man. Yeah, that guy's quality, man. Yeah. And I've never seen a striker so composed on the ball, man. Just the way he just finishes, man. Just the way he's so calm on the ball, and his finishing is superb.
Yeah, big up to the Ecuadorians, man. The intensity levels,
absolutely,
the aggression which they play with, you gotta big up them up.
Absolutely, man. I don't know how Senegal are gonna cope with that, but if there's one player that really has a lot of impact product, it would be Mane. If Mane was in the World Cup, he'd probably be the only guy Senegal would rely on. But I think Senegal probably gonna go out, just because I think Valencia is just gonna have a really good game. For Ghana, look, if they beat South Korea, then I think they have a really good chance of going through.
I don't think they're.
Yeah.
I just don't think so.
I don't know. There's just something about these African teams, man. Things just never go their way, and it's not just because of that they're not good. They're not good. It's just that there's a lot of corruption with FIFA and the.
It's not even that. It's not even that. They don't have the infrastructure and the facility to be able to produce. They don't have that. It's not that needs a lot of money and investment.
Yeah.
But big up Semiassi. Semiassi says, after watching Arsenal play, none of the World Cup games games are as good. Where were all the protests from the FA players when Saudi bought Newcastle? Double standards. Because listen, big up to everybody, by the way. Big up Gary Neville for saying out the quiet bits loud in it. He said the quiet bits out loud in it, and he basically showed. I don't know if you saw the clip of him on when he was questioned. He talked about how the British economy is integrated, same with all the Middle Eastern countries. Like they even know the London Exchange. They own the London Exchange. Like you know what I mean? They
own everything. They own everything. Yeah.
So they're involved in everything. So it's just I called it the moral hypocrisy brigade. That's what they are. I don't think they care about gay people. I really don't think they care about supposed to how women are treated. They don't care about migrant workers. The elites in this country don't give two fucks, people. They don't care about anybody, but they want to use this to try to make what they want to do. So the other African team is let's have a look. Is Tunisia? I think Tunisia are out. I can see
man. Man. They lost to Australia. That's embarrassing, man. Oh my god.
Yeah, and then it's Canada, Morocco. I think out of all of them, Morocco
Morocco go through. They're going
Morocco,
through.
I think Morocco are on 4 points, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and Canada not looking great defensively.
Yeah, so Canada on 0 points. So if Morocco avoid defeat, I think 5 points might be able to take them.
So if they draw,
because I think Croatia are going to beat Belgium.
Really?
Yeah, I think Croatia are going to beat Belgium. So
yeah.
Morocco for me have to get at least a draw. They can't get beat by Canada. If they beat Canada, then they'll go through.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, look. I mean, Canada not looking, great defensively. I mean, against Croatia, they were just so poor. Like after the first goal, like they just capitulated so bad. I mean, and I don't know that Jonathan David guy, man. I don't know, man. He's not my striker that I bring to United, man. He's just so poor. Touch, movement. It's not that great, man. Nah. But yeah, I think if Morocco can at least get like a 1-1 or 2-1, that should send them through. So yeah, Morocco goes through. I think Senegal could edge it. I just have a real gut feeling, man. I don't know. I have a very gut feeling. I don't know. The Senegal could
Anything could happen. Do you think
it could happen, man? Anything could happen.
Do you think they could beat Ecuador?
I wouldn't say win. I mean, maybe draw, but I don't know.
Can't draw. Listen, they can't draw. They have to win.
Man. Yeah. And I mean,
they're on what they're on. They're on 3 points.
They're on 3 points right now. So if they win,
Ecuador are on 4 points.
Yeah.
The Netherlands are on
4. No, 4. I think they're the same points as Ecuador.
Yeah, 4 points. So Ecuador and Netherlands are on the same points.
Senegal
3 points. So Senegal have to win. I can't see them beating Ecuador. Honestly, I can't.
Oh my God!
If they had Mane, yeah.
Yeah.
But not now. With Mane, you can give them a chance with Mane.
Yeah, you
because
can.
He's a finisher, and Ecuador will be worried about him.
Yeah.
Big up. And Lesso says the strongest African team in the World Cup is Morocco. Ghana had injuries prior to the World Cup, and I've always had the toughest group out of African nations in the World Cup. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I know. It's just
smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, people. Please smash a like on the video.
We'll have to see, honestly. Like, I mean, we can't make too much assumptions, but I mean, the way it's looking right now, I think Morocco is probably like the most favorite to go through. But I don't think they'll only go further at like the last 16. I don't think they'll go to like the quarters or something. Yeah. They have 100%.
Yeah. No, 100%. Big up Khalid from Marine Lassie. Khalid says Enzo Fernandez. Yeah, he is. We should have bought him before he went to bloody Benfica. What a goal he was yesterday. Listen, we've got last couple of minutes in the game. What was your favorite game of the World Cup so far? Let's know in the comments. Big up everybody. Windy says, Khalees, I like how England PR showed follow United's playbook. When the managers criticize, bring Rashford out to give support to the manager. Right, Khalees. Big up, Khalees. We're going to go to Khalees' comments now about Rashford, so what Rashford said. But yeah, people, I'm really worried about the Glazers as well. We're talking about the World Cup. We're talking about the Glazers takeover and sale. But let me just get to Khalees' quotes of Rashford. Rashford has come out, faced the media like Windy saying, bring out Rashford, innit? If in doubt, manager criticize, bring out Rashford. So let's get to that's what it says here. Rashford, racism is not good. It's not good to go through as an individual. Racism is not a good thing to go through as an individual, but it's not good to see anybody go through it. Yeah, we deplore racism in all its forms, people. We deplore racism, all its forms, whether it's anti-Semitism, whether it's anti-black racism, whether it's Islamophobia, whether it's against a traveler community, whether it's against anybody, any xenophobia, any hardcore nationalism, we deplore. But big up Rashford. It's just more disappointed than your. It's more just disappointment. You're disappointed the fact that people have views like that. Yeah. And I think he went on to defend what he defended in it. So he defended, like he said that we don't want to get booed because we know that we didn't play well. But in the comments, people, in the comments, please let me know in the comments which African team are making it go into the last 16. Yeah, it's Casemiro. Casemiro talking about Brazil. He says, I haven't exchanged messages with him, but Cristiano is a player with great experience and he knows best for his career. This is the Casemiro. Casemiro, of course, we're sad players like him and leave him. I wish him all the best in his career, except when he plays against me. Casemiro is a bit cheeky. He's a bit cheeky. Casemiro.
Brazil looking good though.
Nah, Brazil. You know what? People came and slaughtered me on Twitter when I said that I believe Brazil will play better without Neymar. But people will slaughter me.
Nah.
Listen, I think they do because I think he hogs the ball too much. I think, to me, the way he plays for Brazil, he picks up the ball in very deep positions from the halfway line almost, central areas, and then he starts battling with these midfielders and defenders, and it's like 3 against 1, and he hogs the ball other than moving the ball one touch, moving the ball and doing the skills in the last just 20 yards out of goal. If he does that, it will mean different for me. But he picks up the ball, and that's what he does. And I only say that because in 2019, that Brazilian team that won the Copa America, before the lockdown, they played without Neymar, and they played.
He still got a medal and everything. But yeah, man, you know, I've said that, you know, if Neymar wants to prove himself as one of the best, man, he has to be that guy for Brazil, man. But honestly, right now, like, he just looks like everyone is outshining him. Like, Richarlison had scored 2 beautiful goals against Serbia, man, and he's looking like the player, you know, for Brazil. And even in the past, you know, you have Jesus, who's coming in clutch, came in clutch for Brazil. You have Vinicius, who's had his, you know, moments. You have Firmino. You have so many players that, you know, have, you know, shown their quality for Brazil. But Neymar, man, he's just there. You know what I mean? Just there, man.
Yeah.
And
so big up. Listen, big up Khalid. Khalid says Morocco. Georgie B says Ghana.
I love, look, you know,
no Dragon saying Ghana.
Yeah.
Muslim saying Canada actually have a crap players. No offense. No, they don't. I thought they played. To me, Canadians must be really proud of the way Canada's performed. They played really well for 2 games and they've lost no points. But today they came up against a very experienced, like tournament savvy Croatian team who just won. I thought the second half they got tired. I thought they got really tired in the second half because they gave so much into the game in the last 2 games. The energy levels were incredible. To me, I've been shocked and surprised how organized and how aggressive and intense Canada's been. But yeah, they don't have the quality, Salimo. I don't think they have the quality, but definitely they've got.
They showed hard. They really showed hard. Yeah, especially against Belgium. They did really well, you know, to contain that, you know, attack, you know, with De Bruyne, you know, Hazard, Lukaku. Really, I thought they did really well. I think that the penalty that Davis missed, I think they were very unlucky to, you know, go out with a loss. You know, they should have at least gone out with a draw. But I think.
Listen,
you know,
I'm not gonna lie to you, Logan. I feel the same. Big up to Jay Elegant. He says the only African team making out is France. Actually, this time they got more French, like white French players than a lot of black people of African descent. Anyway,
that's true. Man.
Even though like some of them are not even like the Spanish roots as well. To me, when I've been to France, actually, there's not that many French people. That majority of French people, some of them have got Portuguese roots, Italian roots.
You know
what I mean? They have all these different roots. But big up to Robert Lassie, Chief Editor, United Real Therapy. Let's just go through some of these quotes. He says, Gabriel, if the Glazers want to exit in the right way, they have to sell to whoever the best for the club, not just the highest bidder. They have to make sure the club's in good hands. Manchester United
not
and
gonna do that.
Liverpool are the biggest clubs in the country by a mile, but United will be more sought after and fetch a higher price than Liverpool just because it might. Big up Khalees, the chief editor, United Real Therapy. It's Gary Neville, unless they've got something sorted, Liverpool are going to have to wait a little bit because buyers will go for United.
Wow.
It carries on here. I think if you put both assets side by side, you chose Man UFC. They're likely to go for the highest bidder. Neville continues and says, they Liverpool are better positioned on and off the pitch, but we've said that for the last 4 or 5 years. But you can't deny the scale of Manchester United. He says it's just different when you look at the commercial revenues and assets. United are a better buy. Gary Neville continues and says, I think an owner will look at the fact that if Manchester United get it right and off the pitch, and Liverpool get it on right off the pitch, Manchester United will be the bigger. Okay, that's what he's saying. Obviously, he's backing Man United all the way, Gary Neville. But big up to everybody, people. Last word goes to Malcolm. Malcolm, let people know where they can follow you, bro.
You can find me on Instagram. It's just my name. Here, it's all lowercase. So just type in my first and last name on Instagram. You can also find me on Twitter. Yeah, you can also find me on. Let me actually put it in.
Put it in. Listen, put it in
the chat right now.
I'll go through this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Glazers want bids of 5 to 8 billion. They need their heads checking. They need their heads checking if they want that. Canada's back line let them down. I think they got tired, man. The press, obviously, the midfield and the attack press really intensely because they know that their defenders are not as good. They're not as good quality. So
my co-host, because I'm thinking I can put anything in the comments though. My co-host, yeah. Because
let me see.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can. So it's basically Malcolm, innit? This is same your first and second name.
Just first and last name.
There you go. Let me put them close together. There you go. You see that there? Is that it?
Let me see it again.
I've just done it for you.
That's me. Yep. Yeah. So
make sure you follow him on Twitter, people, on Instagram as well.
Yep.
Make sure you give him a follow. Yeah. By the way, Sancho has returned to training in the Netherlands, and Donny's training in Dubai. Don't know about other players. By the way, Sancho is rumored to be training in the Netherlands, and Donny's training in Dubai. I don't know about the other players yet. Big up to every one of you. Khalees says here. Neil Lester says the Glazers will set to the highest bidder. They do not care about doing the right thing. Gary Neville should know that by now. Yeah, they don't. True. Harry's Windies. Neymar was given the title of the next big thing when he was 16, 17. The other forwards in Brazil had nothing given to them. They had to work their butts off and to be recognized. No, listen, I love Neymar. When Neymar first came, I thought, what a player. I just don't like how he hogs the ball and how he's greedy. I don't like it. I don't want you hogging the ball. Pass. You know, when I look at players like Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, run the R9, I see them, they play 1 or 2 passes. They will do all the skills and everything else in the last third. They won't do it from the halfway line, lose the ball, get ball fouls, roll around on the floor, do all of that madness. I wouldn't, me personally, I just don't. I think this season for Paris Saint-Germain, he's had a brilliant season. He's played more of a number 9 actually at times. Played way up the pitch, and he's got some fantastic goals and assisted some brilliant goals as well. But I've got no hate against him. It's just frustration. And maybe I've gone over the top calling him a showboating fraud. Maybe that's a bit too harsh. Maybe that's a bit too harsh. Some people might say that. But for me, the way he plays for Brazil, I just feel like now especially, for him to be doing all the showboating stuff, when he played with when he had the strikers, he had Fred and those guys, I wouldn't mind that. But now that he's got really good young players alongside him and he's the more experienced, pass the ball to them, get their profiles up, let them be the heroes. Let them do it as a team, not just to all make it about yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's there's a difference between, playing just for yourself and also playing for others.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, when you're part of a team, you have to obviously, you have to think about the team, and that can also, go with yourself because, if you're playing, if you're playing as a team, if you're like a team player, then that also boosts your,
Yeah, of
sportsmanship.
course, of
You know what I
course.
mean?
Play
Because
as a
everyone
team.
will love you. Yeah,
Yeah, don't be an individual. Obviously, he's got individual brilliance, right?
yeah.
But
Yeah,
but play with the players. Now you got good players around you. You haven't
yeah.
got a striker called Fred playing next to you anymore. You haven't got that. Not the guy, not Fred. Our midfield, the guy called Fred. He used to play with
Third
dead
man.
ballers in 2014 World Cup, man.
Oh my
But
god, man.
anyway, yeah. Greetings from Portugal. Big up, he says. Fast 25. Radfaster 25 says, "Hey, greetings from what? Do you think that rumors of Enzo Fernandez about Man United and Liverpool are real?" Well, he could go to Liverpool, but I think they want 80, 90 million. I think his buyout clause are like 90 million or something like that. 90 million euros. Yeah, Croatia.
I think with this sort of players,
Yeah.
if you
By the
if
way,
you
I've
want to
been
get,
super impressed with Upamecano.
oh yeah, he's been clutch, man.
He's
Solid,
been brilliant.
solid at the
He's
back,
been
man.
brilliant. Yeah.
Solid at
But
the back,
anyway,
really.
people, big
Yeah.
up, man. Big up everybody. Big up all Dubai. Big up Saudi people. Don't like your leaders, but I love the people. Dubai. I love the Kuwaiti people. I love the Qatari people. I love everybody from every part of the world. I don't like people, countries' leaders. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of this country's leaders or most countries in the world's leaders.
What do you think of Spain?
Spain, yeah, you know what? I was quite disappointed. They're good. They're good, but I
Yeah.
think Morata has to play from the start.
Yeah, he looked great when he came on. Yeah, I think, but I feel like he's just that sort of player. If you start him, I think it takes time for him to just adapt,
Yeah,
man.
look,
He looks normal, but if you bring him on, then he just looks a threat. So,
yeah.
but I don't know. We'll
I
see.
think Spain, you have to play with a striker. You have to play with a
Yeah,
striker.
yeah, of
Somebody
course,
who's
yeah.
focal point, who can hold up the ball, bring the other
Yeah.
midfielders into play. I don't know if it's true. I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. But this is the best I've seen him play since he played for Leipzig. For France, he looks like a warrior.
Who?
But it was good to see Varane yesterday. He did about 65 minutes, something like that. He looked good. Varane, yeah.
Oh, Pavacano, yeah.
Yeah,
He looked good, man. Yeah.
Anyway, big up people. Big up love and light people.
Japan.
Take care. Smash a like on the video on your way out, people. Thank you so much, Logan. Make sure you give Logan a follow. And those of you on your Twitter, this is me, that guy Red Devil, or Mr. Structure. Big up, people. Yeah, we'll be live tomorrow after around this time, actually, 10 o'clock tomorrow with Saeed, most likely. So big up. Take care, people. The Straight Jacket podcast at 9 o'clock. And then we'll go live with the show at 10. Take care, people. Love and light. Yeah, Portugal, yeah. I think you play better without Ronaldo, me personally. That's just me, mate. That's just me. Take care. Good night.
Yeah. That was my favorite game, actually. Portugal versus Ghana. I think that was my favorite game.
I think my favorite game was the second half, Japan versus Germany.
Germany?
That was an incredible game.
Yeah, man.
Amazing game. And obviously Saudi Arabia against Argentina was a really good game. Last night's game was boring, man. Argentina, Mexico. Oh my God, it put me to sleep. I was falling asleep at that. Good night, folks. Peace, love, and light. Win, lose, or draw. Glazers out, bankers out. Remember that. Let's not lose focus. Good night.